lined up the top stars from Hollywood and from all over the world to entertain you on a giant screen with the few colorful motion pictures you've been hearing about and reading
It's
about.
showtime, folks. Enjoy the show.
We're delighted to have you with us. They're driving theater.
You'll find something to please you to add to your evening's enjoyment.
Is pleased to bring you our feature presentation.
What's up, everybody? It is another Monday night. It's 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. If you are tuned in somewhere in the future or in a different time zone, or I don't know where you are or what timeline that you exist in, but it is it's time for the Drive-In Speaker Box. We're going to be talking to you about movies for the next hour. It's what we do. It's what we've been doing for thousands, literally, of episodes. Here, it's your podcast for all things movies. I'm your host, Bo, the Boom Operator.
I'm Slick Doggy the Grip.
And this show tonight, I don't know. I don't really have a plan for the show because last week at the box office, last weekend was shit, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've seen all the movies already. And, honestly, I don't want to go see Summer Camp.
Right.
With a bunch of 70-year-old grandmas chasing dick. Like, that's not my... I watch a lot of bad movies for you guys, but this weekend I couldn't do it, man. I looked at all the listings, and everybody's like, "Oh, what about that? What about that movie that's like breaking all the new grounds, where it's like a first-person killer going through just namelessly killing teens at a summer camp? It's never been done." And I'm like, "It's literally been done 1,000 times," and it's not going to be better than Friday the 13th. It's not going to be better than Sleepaway Camp. It's not going to be better than everything that came before it. Why do I want to waste my time on this? And so I didn't see that either.
How can it be better than Sleepaway Camp with that face?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not going to waste my time on that. But I did, we already saw the TV Globe. We already saw If. We already saw Planet of the Apes. We already saw Garfield. We already saw. Huh?
Did you watch Planet of the Apes?
You did.
No.
I thought you said you did.
No. I mean, I've seen.
Well, then that's what I should have saw. I thought you saw. I thought we talked about it.
No, I think we talked about how neither one of us wanted to watch it.
Well, there's that.
Despite the fact that I really like Planet of the Apes, this movie.
I thought you saw it. I thought we reviewed it. Well, shit, I could have done that. I would have sat through that. I did sit through Furiosa. We reviewed that.
Yeah, I just can't make myself go. I don't want to watch the Bright Eyes story again. I don't want to watch.
I heard it's different.
Okay.
Yeah, no. And generally everybody that said that it's different also didn't watch the OG Planet of the Apes. I'm like, you guys realize this is leading up to a point. They're not changing the goalpost, supposedly. I think it's supposed to be leading up to the storyline that we all know from Charlton Heston and Bright Eyes. And
there was an article I did not read today, though, but it said something about one of the ape characters seeing the ship from the original Planet of the Apes at the end of the movie. And it was like, did he see this? Answered by the director. And I was like, spoiler I don't care about.
But yeah, we didn't see shit this weekend. We saw probably one of the most disappointing box offices in history.
Yeah, and like Vince says, he has no idea what the 7 to 10 movies are at the box office. It's like, yeah, what's out there right now that there's anyone wants to talk about it? Furiosa is kind of here and there with people being like, I watched it and I liked it, or people being like, I'll wait,
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Garfield, which is just another Garfield.
Yep. And If, which didn't seem to get any traction.
No, I watched that one. I watched Garfield and I watched If.
The Fall Guy's still playing. The Fall Guy was all right. Strangers, which is just a remake of the regular Strangers.
The only problem with Fall Guy right now is that they released a longer and better version of it on streaming.
So why would you go see it in the theater? Jeez. What should have been...
Oh, Velvet Sanders Haikyuu movie is out, but
yeah, we talked about that last week.
I don't know anything about.
Well, and what was, they were talking about how Garfuriosa was supposed to Garfuriosa should have been the Barbenheimer. It's like, if you were missing the opportunity of In a Violent Nature and Summer Camp being, that should have been the crossover movie. In a Violent Nature about this guy running through a summer camp killing teens, paired with Summer Camp about a bunch of 70-year-old ladies chasing dick. Like, come on. And then they get murdered? Like, that's what it should have been. It should have been the plot of summer camp where these old ladies are like, let's go relive our days of tugging on wieners. And then they, go out there and then they get brutally murdered by a teenage serial killer.
Yeah, that combo could have been the commentary on like how life was so different for them at the age that they're at, and they had it so easy. All they had to worry about was whether Billy thought they were cute or whatever. But then now kids now are just getting ganked by like serial murderers, and like the old people are like, oh man, I remember summer camp. It wasn't there was no big deal.
There was a
kid or two got like cut up or whatever, but no big.
No, I think that should have been like the crazy murderer is actually just some zillennial, and he's going through murdering these old people that are returning to summer camp. That's the movie. That's what we need to see, because then it's an us versus them. Then it's the zillennials going like, yeah, fuck the boomers. And then, I think, dude, hey, these movies write themselves, people. Where's my funding company? Let's go. Let's get this in production right now. Anyway. But speaking of things that are in production right now, some trailers dropped this week. If we wanna go over those, we watched a few trailers this week. I saw the one that hit Netflix this yesterday, I think, 2 days ago, 3 days ago. Umbrella Academy season 4. Good news, it's back. Bad news, it looks just as boring as the last season. I don't know how this is officially the last season, thank God. The first season was a lot of fun. I don't know why they've dragged it on this long, because storylines are easy to go, you know what, everything that happened in the last season doesn't matter because new timeline. And I think that's no different here. At least they're not doing a dance number this time, which, like, this show was kind of one of the first shows to, like, let's do a kitschy dance number with all the characters to a song that everybody likes, even though it's supposed to be a gritty, like, sci-fi comic book drama. And then every show was doing, like, dance numbers, which was really obnoxious. The only one that I think really did it right was Severance. They did a really cool, kitschy dance number. I can't wait for season 2 of that to come out.
Everyone liked the opening of the John Cena superhero.
Oh, yeah, and there was a dance number in that one, too. Yeah. But, yeah, as it went on, like, dude, Umbrella Academy was just garbage, just not a good show. So thankfully that it's coming to a close. So last season, I'll probably watch it. I'm already invested 3 seasons. I've watched those. I'll check it out just to watch it end. And there. What was the other trailer that you watched here, Jake? We gotta talk about it.
Well, you know what? There was a Moana 2 trailer.
Oh, that's right.
Did you see that one?
I did.
Yeah, it was like Moana 2. More of the
Moana.
Yeah.
Moana.
Yeah. Moana. That's there. It's like they got to find more islands for their people to live on, because the islands are getting too small because the populations are getting too big or something, and they want to reunite the tribes or some such. I don't know. It was just her setting sail and then Dwayne Johnson showing up and being like, hey, it's me again.
Remember me?
Yep. So that's there. That trailer's out there. No dead grannies this time, so I guess that's a plus. But I also think that was like the emotional heart of that first movie. It was a real bummer. What was the other one? Venom 3.
The Last Dance.
I still haven't watched Venom 2.
That was the Carnage.
Yeah,
movie.
But I did watch the trailer here for Venom 3.
So my deal with this is it should have stopped at 2, because and my point is because, like, Venom's naturally greatest enemy is Carnage. Like, we all know that. Anybody that's not even read a comic book ever is like, oh, the red Venom. Yeah, he's the bad guy, right?
Spider-Man.
Well, but they're not going to do Tom Holland versus what's the other? Who is? Geez, why am I being that guy that can't think of names right now?
The dude that the
guy that's with Venom.
The guy that was young Picard.
Who's playing Eddie Brock in this movie? God damn it! You know his name.
He's a British guy.
Oh, jeez. And Tom Hardy.
There it is.
Because I know it was another Tom. So the Toms, the Battle of the Toms. They're not going to do the Battle of the Toms.
Yeah, they're not going to do Battle of the British Toms, being American
which they
journalist.
should. They should, but they're not going to. And then this trailer it lacked everything that they were just like, let's just grab straws and say Venom's got to fight this new threat because Morbin Time didn't land, and then neither did Madam Web, and then I feel like Kraven the Hunter's not going to land either. And, you know, what are we even doing here? And I've heard that Mahershala Ali might be stepping back from Blade.
Yeah.
And saying like, actually, you know what? Maybe I don't want to do this.
I did see an article titled where it was he was joining Jurassic World 4.
Yes.
Because Blade is just never going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Which is a bummer because I think that a Mahershala Ali-led Blade would have been really good. But he's a smart man to kind of back away from this. So, although is joining the next Jurassic World the smartest move? I mean,
I don't think so.
For a guy that I have met who remembered my name on set, who seemed like a very smart, nice, well-rounded man, you know, someone that's like, I'm going to take a role that like means something to me. And I want to bring something to this character that is important as a thespian. Jurassic World. Let's go. I don't know. But money.
Money does let you do things that you want to do.
Yes. So I feel like maybe Mahershala was like, I'll take $3 million versus the whatever you're going to pay me for Blade. So yeah, I don't know. But going back to Venom, the trailer looked weak. It looked scattered and chaotic. And I think I was reading in an article that that Tom Hardy and some other folks were actually involved in the creative process of this because like nobody else can think of how to take this story on, and it just looks sad. And I'll watch it because I think Tom Hardy's fun, but this just looks weak.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. What can you say about it? He does Venom things, and it looks a lot like just the stuff that we've seen from it. He bites the heads off of a couple of bad guys because in the movies Venom has to eat people, and then they do some like semi-Spider-Man type things without it being Spider-Man things, and then there's a horse Venom.
Well, the horse Venom, yeah. The thing that surprises me that this is the third movie in the trilogy, and somehow the effect of half Tom Hardy's face, half Venom face
still looks awful.
Has gotten worse. Like you'd think they'd have figured it out by now, but no, it's only gotten worse. But hey, I'll watch that instead of a new Jurassic World. Thank you. Velvet Sent on Twitch says if the Jim Henson Company took over the Venom special effects, he'd be down. Like Muppet Venom, like if it was the Venom coming out of his back was like had a stick and like a little fuzzy hand. Like I would watch that and like let me eat people.
Dude, Venom taking over Animal.
Oh my God, yeah, that would be our
Dr.
Cookie Monster.
Teeth. Oh, are we
Cookie
doing
Monster.
Sesame Street and the
Well, that's Jim Henson.
Muppets? Yeah.
You know, yeah, I don't know. That's a movie. You could check it out. The trailer's out there. Have you seen the commercial for the Deadpool Wolverine popcorn buckets?
No, are they making fun of the Dune bucket?
Well, here, let me see if I can like pull this up for you guys and give you guys a little taste of. If you're listening to the podcast, you can't see this, but we've got it on the TV here. Yep. There it is.
Every other day is a different Deadpool something, though.
And on the side, it says designed by Deadpool. And it's like they're leaning into the innuendo and be like, oh, yeah, stick your wiener in there or whatever. You know, and then the butter coming down the face. Like, we all know. Like, that, we know what's happening. The Deadpool shit, can we stop?
Not for another month.
I'm so over it.
Yeah, we still got another month of more stuff. The advertising budget for Deadpool has to be ridiculous.
Well, I thought I saw like a Gatorade commercial with Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds, and I'm like, whoa, you know how much money they had to pay these guys. Like,
James says the Dune bucket makes fun of itself. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
it really does, James. That is true. And Velvet Santa on Twitch says you should check out the Human Centipede popcorn bucket. Now that's something you and your friends you can buy 3 different buckets and they all lock together. That's a good bucket. I mean, if AMC and Regal were thinking right, they would make multiple buckets that together make something new. Like that, then you get people that need to buy all 3. But
dude, but they cost so many dollars.
Yeah, but that's what AMC wants you to do. They want you to spend all of those many of dollars. Movie Hour says, have you noticed that the AMC policy before the feature has changed and is shorter policy?
Yeah, hey, come in, turn off your phones, be quiet, get ready for the movie.
Yeah. Well, they sped up the guy's voice. Like before, it was like, "Welcome to AMC Theaters," and now it's like, "Welcome to AMC Theaters. Turn your fucking phones off. Get ready for Nicole Kidman to come out here and say it's magic. Bye."
Well, and the Nicole Kidman thing's shorter too, which I definitely appreciate.
Yeah, because when you're here, you're family. And like,
they should have one of those for the
Olive Garden
or for Fast and Furious.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was really excited about the prospect of a new Nicole Kidman intro to the AMC theater
they're
thing.
supposed to have like 4 different ones,
but they just re-edited the one. No, it's the same one where it's like, we come here to experience some bullshit, and then it starts with the same thing where like her foot hits the splash, and then she's in the theater, right, and she's like she's making like the Hillary Clinton face with the balloons, like going, you know, and then she sits down in a theater by herself, and she's like, story is so powerful, they make your, the hairs on the tip of your penis stand erect, or whatever. That's an old Mr. Show joke. Google it.
Don't Google it.
Or Google it. Yeah, it's called The Lion's Roar. And and then they cut it to something else where at the end she says like, it's magic, and then there's the other one where it says you are, it says AMC Theaters. And it's the same shit, they've just edited it differently. So they didn't actually record anything new with her. I think they just picked up shit from the cutting room floor and were like, you know what, we can make a new one out of this and make a new one. Don't scrap it together. I actually look forward to seeing Nicole Kidman sometimes. I'm like, oh, finally, the trailers are over.
That's true, dude. Yeah, some movies' trailers are like 45 minutes of trailers.
Dude,
it's bad.
I mean, I know it's 20, I think my local AMC is 27 minutes. Like, I could factor that in. So sometimes if I am running late to like a movie or something, I'm like, okay, I got this. 27 minutes. I can go. I can burn through this. I've got time. It's like, oh shit, things are running late. I've got 27 minutes. I can still roll in and get my mozzarella sticks if the fryer isn't down. P.S. Have you tried the donuts?
No, because the donut hole special for IF was $33, and I wasn't about to
just get the regular donut holes, man. They're so good.
Yeah, but is it worth the $18 or whatever they
They
probably
were $9.
$9.
And you got points for them. I know you got points.
I always use my points. I immediately
use them on donuts.
I get the drink with points.
Well, I'm telling you,
I don't bank all those points like you, bro. I'm not
really
sitting here
good.
with like 20,000 points waiting to become all the free popcorn in the world. Hey,
I like how you just said 20,000 points. Like that was a lot of points.
Dude, I don't know how the points work. I just know when it's like, you got $5. I'm like, activate.
Let's see. Hang on a second. Let me go to my webcam here. That's how many points I got. I got 146,000 points. Yeah, look. Hey, just check it out. Oh, I got a free icy because I'm an Investor Connect. But look at all these $5 rewards. Oh my God, look at them. I got them all. I got rewards on rewards on rewards on rewards. Oh my God,
man.
it just keeps going.
You're going to go in there and they're like, do you want to use your points? And you're like,
no.
You know what?
That's right. And I go, I am the captain now.
Yeah. Yeah. I just bought this theater Yeah, that would be
Man.
cool. Hey, you know what? Talking movie trailers, though, before we get just absolutely too far away from that, there was a new kind of teaser trailer thing released, the Return to Silent Hill. Have you seen this?
I did. I saw it in my news feed, but I didn't watch it.
So, the regular kind of trailer they've released for it's cool, but Konami released a side-by-side trailer where they're talking with the director Christoph Gans on this, and they have the Silent Hill 2 remake or revamp or whatever it is, because they've updated it from the PS2 version for current gen or whatever. It still doesn't look great, so I think they just like upscaled it.
Mm-hmm.
But they have the Silent Hill 2 scenes right next and side by side to the Return to Silent Hill movie scenes, and it looks identical.
Huh.
And
neat.
that's very cool. And the director, they're doing an interview with him through this, and he's like, yeah, the first movie, because he's the one that did the first Silent Hill movie as well. He's like, that was like this trek through drama. It was an epic drama and all this. He's like, but this, we get to really explore, like the weird parts of Silent Hill and horror and things like that. And he made sure to point out every monster in the movie is costumes and practical effects. So
I mean, that's cool. That is
very cool. You get to see some more Pyramid Head. You get to see creepy nurses, all the hallmarks of Silent Hill. So if you like horror stuff, or if you like Silent Hill video games, this is building up to be what you're into. So that was actually pretty cool to see. I'm not really a fan of Silent Hill stuff, but the movies aren't bad. Actually, as far as like horror movies go, the Silent Hill movies aren't bad. The two of them.
No, they're not bad.
They don't have like crazy jump scares or anything.
They're just creepy.
Yeah, they're just creepy.
Let's see, going back to the comments. I'll take a second on this. It's a little off topic, but Christina on Facebook asks, this person's been working with a drive-in in their area in Midland, saying that people want to help out with their drive-in, but the guy that wants to open it doesn't want to do anything like that, and it's kind of upsetting. I understand, our drive-in was very similar, and our drive-in went away as well. And as a person who loves drive-ins, I will say this. And as a person who owns a business, I will say this. A lot of people wanting to help is very different than having staff, right? A lot of people want to come and help, but when they want to come and help, they want to do it on their own terms. They want to do it their own way. And then sometimes they go, well, I also want to get paid. And, I don't know how that guy's finances work or what his whole deal is, but, if he's got a plan and he wants to do it his way, it's really up to him, unfortunately. Like with our drive-in, there was so many people that wanted to see that place succeed and thrive, and they're like, how can we help? And they're like, well, we're just going to sell it because we don't really, want your help, or B, we're done. And, people want to help up until a point where it actually becomes extremely hard work. Which running a business is, and volunteer spirit is great, and it is awesome in certain respects, but it can come back and bite you in the ass, and maybe that person's just too afraid of that. I don't know, but I would say if people genuinely want to help that person, come up with a plan and present it to them. And if they say no, then that's really all you can do. You can't. Unfortunately, I've learned that you can't save the world. You can't save every business that wants to not be saved. Sometimes you just got to let those pieces fall. But, and as Velvet Santa said on Twitch, volunteer is great until you're taken for granted. So it's a very nuanced topic that I don't want to spend the whole show talking about. But yeah, saving a drive-in is important. But as Moose Jaws just said on YouTube, says help by voting with dollars for things that you like before they are in trouble. Yes. So if it already went out of business once, that sucks. But if you want things to stay in business, go support them. Go to the theater. Go to your drive-in if you still have one. Go to that mom and pop restaurant that you like. Go to that bar that you like. If you want to say, well, you need more live music, and there's a show that has live music, and there you walk up to the door and they say it's a $5 cover. Pay that fucking cover. Don't be like, oh man, geez. That's how you keep things alive.
Oh man, I'm all out of cash.
Right. I'm out of cash. I'm going to the next X bar to spend, $30 on Jaeger bombs. Like, okay, we got you. Buy band merch. Like, we're all sitting here in a world of pluses, minus subscription services that we don't need. We're buying superfluous shit for ourselves all the time. All of us do it. Don't say that you don't. You just have to vote with your dollar, and so sometimes that means not having that avocado toast. You know what I'm saying? And just putting your money where your heart is, and just spending it. A lot of people in our show, I know she's not here right now, but I know Night Owlishly, she says, like, yeah, this is something that I love, and I don't necessarily have a budget for a lot of streaming services, but I love this, so I'm going to subscribe. And, that's how you keep things alive. That's how you keep anything that you like alive. That's how you keep movie theaters open. That's how you keep independent movies in theaters, is by going to the theater and watching those things when they're in the theaters and not waiting for them to hit streaming. So, it's a very big thing, and it requires all of us. And sometimes just wanting to do good isn't always the way to doing it. Actually doing good is the way to do it. So anyway, with that said, let's talk about what's coming out in theaters this week.
Hold on. I got more news.
Oh, shit, more news. Good, because we don't have a movie review, so let's just keep going with it.
Kevin Costner announced, or he showed a behind-the-scenes photo. They've started doing the filming on Horizon 3, like they talked about. The first one isn't even out yet. That's crazy. Talking about things on streaming. Godzilla Minus One showed up on Netflix out of the blue
last night at midnight.
Everyone is stoked about that. So if you didn't get to watch Godzilla Minus One in the theater, which you really should have done, it's now on Netflix for you to watch. It is one of the better Godzilla movies that are out there. Also something streaming, but going back to talking like creepy movies like we were doing a minute ago. The movie Isn't It Romantic, which had Adam Devine, who's that Australian chick that she wrote a book and accused a lot of people, and everyone got mad at her, and Rebel Wilson.
Yeah, Rebel Wilson, yeah.
It had Rebel Wilson, Adam Devine, one of the Hemsworth brothers, the Priyanka Chopra Jonas, all these people in there. It was like she was obsessed with romantic comedies, and she gets knocked out and wakes up inside of a romantic comedy that is her life. And then when she wakes
like
up,
Overboard, but different.
Kind of. When she wakes up, it's like her life has changed and different and all that kind of thing. Well,
it was like one part Overboard and one part Mr. Destiny. Do you remember Mr. Destiny?
I don't.
Oh, that's got Michael Caine and one of the Belushi brothers. I think it's James Belushi. Or is it Jim?
Jim Belushi.
Jim Belushi, yeah.
So this movie, she wakes up inside a rom-com, and then wakes up and her life's different. They've decided that they are doing a sequel to that, but it's called Isn't It Scary? And it's going to be a horror movie version. How about that?
Okay.
What else I got here? Lots of people are still talking about this Coyote vs. Acme thing. Screen Rant interviewed the directors of the canceled Batgirl movie when they were on the red carpet for the Bad Boys, and they're like, hey, what do you think about all this? And like, man, we're friends with that director. People really like when these movies are done. It's terrible that Hollywood's taking them away. It's just another thing to worry about in Hollywood. They need to be put out there for people to watch and people to decide if they like them or not. So we may still see Coyote vs. Acme because I guess it's still stirring stuff up.
It's ridiculous at the time that we live in where they'll trash it for tax purposes before just going, we made this thing, let people watch it. And they're like, no, if anybody watches it, we can't file our tax claim.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
ugh.
How much does it cost for them to take their own movie and then put it on their own streaming service after they've completed the movie, right? It can't be that much for them to stream their movie, right? It's not going through a lot of hands and distribution and stuff. Which, talking streaming movies that do find success, but that probably should have been one of those scrapped movies. Another Predator movie, Predator Badlands, the sequel to
whatever the last one
the
was.
Hulu Predator with the girl, and despite all these warriors and trappers and people,
Prey. It was called Prey. Yeah,
it was a 15-year-old girl that just destroyed this 13-foot tall, mutated, covered in bone super predator. The next one stars Elle Fanning.
Hell yeah.
So, once
Let's
again,
go.
Yeah. And then the It prequel, Welcome to Derry.
Oh, that's right. And I
they've
think
cast
Bill is coming back,
Bill
right?
Skarsgård coming back as Pennywise. Yep.
Good.
So that's like an official thing.
I like Bill Skarsgård. I remember, if we want to get that up-and-comer emote ready in the chat, I remember when he was on, there was a Netflix show that was like a really, really weird.
What the hell, Vince? I just saw that.
Oh my God, I can't remember the name of it. I would have told it to you 1,000 times, but yeah, it was this weird show, and he was like this weird monster thing, and I was like, man, that guy's good. That guy, I think he's going somewhere. But then also I realized, like, oh, he's related to two very famous people, and so of course he's destined to be famous as well. But yeah, God, Dina, what was the name of that show? It was like. It was good. It was stupid. Whatever. I don't have time to keep thinking about it. So moving on.
That was
it.
That's it. I think that's other than that. We might cover it in what's coming out this weekend, but Fathom Events stuff coming up. Lord of the Rings, man, extended editions, 4K, hitting theaters. 8th, 9th, and 10th. That's your chance to see Fellowship, Two Towers, Return of the King, and then they're repeating that the following weekend, 15th, 16th, and 17th, and some locations, not all, are getting a third week, 22, 23, and 24. So if you miss one showing, or if you want to watch one each week, something like that, but you could do the cool thing and marathon them at the theater one day after another.
That'd be pretty fun.
But yeah, 8th, 9th, 10th, 15th through the 17th, and the 22nd through the 24th. You can go watch Lord of the Rings before any of these new movies and stuff like that start to come out. You can see, like,
Dina on Twitch predicts that it's going to make more money than most films in the box office right now and should be in the top 10. I bet it's going to be. And
as long as our theater gets all three of them, because the last time they showed the extended editions in our local theaters, they did Fellowship and then skipped Two Towers and had like one showing of Return of the King. So I only got to see Fellowship, and I think I went to Return of the King just so I could see it. But they didn't show Two Towers, which is the one to watch.
I remember you got so pissed off about that.
I was so mad. I was the maddest boy because I was like, yeah, hell yeah, and watching Fellowship on the big screen. But now that they have the 4K Blu-ray releases, the UHD and stuff, so now they have upscaled and extended in the theater. I need it. So I like Lord of the Rings movies.
Yeah, well, the original trilogy is perfect.
Yeah.
It's perfect. All right. Well, let's talk about what's coming out in theaters this weekend, because it's about that time. There's only two that are really getting a nationwide release here, and one's a horror movie, and one is a horrifically bad sequel. Or it could be. I don't know. Maybe it's going to be awesome. Maybe it's going to be great. Everyone says, Bo, stop being so negative. Maybe it's going to be the best, and I'm just poo-pooing on it because I'm such a negative dude. I don't know. But the horror movie that's coming out is The Watchers. It's from not M. Night Shyamalan. It's from Ishana Shyamalan. And we've seen the trailers. It's got Dakota Fanning in it. It is about
Fanning sisters everywhere.
They're everywhere. It's about a young artist getting stranded in this sort of extensive, immaculate forest in the Western Ireland area where, after finding shelter, she becomes trapped alongside three strangers and stalked by mysterious creatures each night. The trailer looks pretty cool. So, I don't know what I think about this. It looks kind of neat. I think it will be... I think it'll be cool.
Maybe.
I like the Shyamalans. I mean, I like M. Night. I don't know anything about Ishana. Like, I've not seen any of her stuff, but I liked the last couple of Shyamalan joints. You know, I'm here for this. But the other thing that I'm not quite so into.
You liked Glass?
No, you know how I feel about the Unbreakable shit. You know how mad I got when Split turned out to be an Unbreakable story. It was a good movie up until the last 5 fucking seconds of that movie, which made Glass a piece of shit. Yeah, nah. God damn it. Other than that, and the Avatar, and The Village, and okay, most everything else.
Shape of Water or whatever.
I didn't hate that. That wasn't Shyamalan, was it?
Oh no,
that was Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah, del Toro. What's the Lady in the Water?
Lady in the Water. Oh shit. Yeah, why'd you have to bring that one up? So, well, I'll say I've given him a pass on a few movies that I've liked. And anyway, but the other movie that's coming out I'm really confused about is Bad Boys, Ride or Die. It was like, how many years till we got a sequel to Bad Boys? We waited, and everyone was like, oh my God, they're gonna make another Bad Boys? Holy crap. And now we're getting like 2 back to back more, and the last one wasn't even that great, and I don't even think it made that much money.
Was not. I think it made money because it came out when it was a movie to watch. But
Bad Boys, Ride or Die, their former captain implicated in corruption. They're back. They got to clear his name, even though I mean, Joey Pants is their captain, who's probably the best part of this whole movie, because Joey Pants, arguably, if you've ever interviewed or read any interviews in Hollywood, everyone's like, yeah, Joey Pants freaking rules. Like, who doesn't like Joey Pants? Apparently he's everyone's favorite human in Hollywood. But then you've got Martin Lawrence, who apparently at the movie that was shot here in Springdale showed up to set every day completely fucking blitzed and drunk every day and was horrible to work with. Yeah. And you got Will Smith, who's, well, we know where Will Smith's been lately, and it hasn't been great. Eric Dane's in this movie because he looks like I mean, you know how it's not cool? You can't call people an NPC anymore. That's like a really bad derogatory term to be like, you're just an NPC. Well, I feel like guys like Eric Dane, they're henchmen. You know, they just look like henchmen. And in every movie, they just look like a generic bad guy henchman. But I don't know. I don't like the way this movie looks. I don't think it's gonna be fun. I'm definitely gonna watch it. It's gonna be Martin Lawrence being like, I don't even know if I want to be in this situation, even though it's the 4th movie that I'm in this situation. And then Will Smith's like, yeah, I'm the cool guy still.
Mike Lowry.
And yeah, and like, I mean, how is that joke still running?
Well, because the first 2 are pretty good.
But in this one, apparently Mike Lowry isn't Mike Lowry no more. And he doesn't have any money. He's just, I don't know. How is this? How? Dinas is McSteamy. Yes, he's McSteamy. But I think that he doesn't have a face that's, I don't like his face.
Vince, you've never seen any of the Bad Boys? The first one is, I mean,
first one's arguably a lot of fun.
You got to watch the first one to watch the second one, but the second one's the best one.
That was a Michael Bay and Jerry Bruckheimer collab. They were together doing the thing that we all wanted them to do. That hasn't happened in a while. This movie most certainly isn't got Bruckheimer or Michael Bay's name attached. I mean, maybe in an executive producer role, but not in the writer, director, producer area. That's what made the first 2 good, is these 2 guys coming together that separately I think they don't do well together, but then together, or apart, they don't do well apart, but together they make this sort of Voltron of action movie perfection.
Yeah. This one was directed by the people of the canceled Batgirl movie.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Bad Boys, Ride or Die. And it's the same fucking trope that every action movie hits at a certain level in the franchise where it goes, Miami's finest are now its most wanted. It's like, how many times have we done that story? How many times has Jason Bourne been the A number one but now wanted by the government? How many times has Tom Cruise and the Mission Impossible gang been A number one, saved the world a whole bunch of times but now wanted by the government?
Yeah,
how many times have...
Those have the out, though, because Jason Bourne's like a secret project, and Mission Impossible is like no one knows of your existence. If you're caught, you will get in trouble. Sorry about it.
This is like two Miami cops.
This one, they're public figures, though, right? And everyone's like, oh, these are heroes that are published in the news repeatedly for being heroes, right? And then they're like...
And then nope. They might be selling drugs on the side, so we got to send helicopters to get them. And oh no, man.
It also looks a lot like Harold and Kumar 3. 2 or 3.
Do they do drugs?
No, that scene right there.
Oh, where there's the scene in the trailer park. Yes. I don't know if I'm excited about this, but I'm gonna. As Dina said, I liked this trope in The Other Guys. The Other Guys was a great movie. Shane Black, which we talked about in the pre-show, which you are not subscribed to us on Twitch, get access to that.
I don't like The Other Guys. That's one of 2 movies three.
Or was it The Nice Guys?
Garfield.
I'm thinking The Nice Guys.
Nice Guys is pretty good.
That's who I'm thinking.
With Ryan Gosling and
That's what I'm
Russell
thinking.
Crowe.
The Nice Guys.
Yeah, The Other
That's
Guys.
Shane Black.
That was Marky Mark and Will Ferrell.
Okay, yeah, I don't like that one.
That's one of 3 movies I've fallen asleep at the movie theater watching. Superman Returns.
I like The Nice Guys, though.
The Other Guys, and now Garfield. Those are the 3 movies I've fallen asleep during.
Damn. That's hard to fall asleep in a movie theater.
Yeah.
Vince says you don't have to sub to watch the pre-show, but it helps. Yeah, you just like and subscribe. Subbing is great. It helps us out. You get access to fun stuff. You don't have to watch ads on Twitch. You get tonight. It was a whole hour full of extra content. It was just me up here. Yeah, and then 30 extra minutes of Jake here. But yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you don't want to watch the video, if you're like, what's going on here? I don't know what these comments mean. You can listen to the audio version of this wherever it is you download your podcast. Just search for the Drive-In Speaker Box Podcast, or tell your smart speaker to play the Drive-In Speaker Box Podcast. But those are your 2 movies that are coming out this weekend in theaters. And yeah, there you go. I don't have a lot to say past that. We didn't watch any new movies.
There wasn't anything in our area to watch. There was a couple of Telugu movies, and I entertained the idea of picking one of them. They had very limited show times, and
what?
They had very limited show times, and neither one of them looked incredibly interesting or anything like that. So. But yeah, I mean, there was nothing new other than those, right? Except for summer camp. Yeah. So
it's a honk shoe fest in the theaters right now. It's really pathetic. Yeah, I mean, and there's not even a lot of cool stuff coming out on streaming either. Because, normally you'd get like a couple of exclusive movies that are just like, oh yeah, Netflix productions, Amazon productions, like whatever. There's just not anything that's out that I've been rewatching Black Sails that just hit Netflix. Also that hit Netflix, Scavengers from Max. Really want to check that out.
I did finish Under the Bridge. Its last episode came out.
Is that a documentary about like Anthony Kiedis and Red Hot Chili Peppers?
It's a dramatized telling of a book based on a true crime. It was the murder of this Indian girl in Canada. By these a group of 6 girls and this boy who all beat her up under a bridge and then followed her across it.
That sounded really like an uplifting movie to watch.
And drowned her. Yeah. But the last episode of that aired on Hulu this past Wednesday. It's not a bad series. 8 episodes for the whole thing. you know, and then at the end of it, it kind of gives you the this is what happened in real life rundown at the end of it, and all that. So that series ended up being pretty good. I don't like that I had to wait 8 weeks to watch the whole thing, but
Yeah, I don't either. I'm sorry you had to watch that.
You like waiting weeks for episodes?
No, I think it's better. I think it is better. I was reading an article about binging and how the binge model does not work in the long run. I mean, what happens is it does not allow people to continue their subscriptions, which you want people to stay through and then watch things and they get hooked on other things. And then here's my thing with the waiting is one of the cool things that got lost on, waiting episodically for like network television to show these shows versus all episodes available now is that sort of public comment that we all got to talk about. Like people be like, oh man, did you see this week's episode of blah, blah, blah? What'd you think? Oh man, it was cool. It was whatever. And now it's like, well, it came out yesterday. Well, I have no life and I just watched 9 hours of this one TV show last night. And then they come and they go, don't tell me, spoilers. I don't want. And so nobody's really like talking about it. Like, yeah, as Vince said, the discourse is gone. So it becomes just a personal experience instead of sort of a experience through like a cultural experience of the other people that are really enjoying the show.
That's fine. I mean, who are you really talking about?
Well, I mean, you used to talk to everybody. I remember when Game of Thrones was week to week, and then Lost was week. Like Lost was the one. I mean, Lost changed the world, and everybody was like, "Oh man, did you see this week's episode of blah blah blah?" And I assume once upon a time, like Star Trek was the same way. Did you see that episode of blah blah blah? You know, it's new. Oh, can't wait. Now it's like, oh, did you watch season 1 of whatever? And it's like, no, I haven't watched it yet. Well, we're not going to talk about it. And then by the time you finally finish it, the other person don't want to talk about it because they watched it 3 weeks ago. Just is not the same. And also, thanks for the sub, Merle.
Yeah,
you were supposed to be watching a concert at the Amp. Has it already ended?
Or you have us on your phone.
He did have us on our phone right before the concert started. So thank you. Yeah, Vince said the last show that he really remembered talking about week to week was Breaking Bad. And again, Breaking Bad was another one of those shows that everybody's like, oh my God, what's going to happen to Walter White? Holy shit.
Yeah, or like you said, Game of Thrones.
Yep. And now everybody just knows.
See, in Game of Thrones is probably part of why I hate waiting for stuff, because they'd be like, next episode in 3 months. And you're like,
well, but that's a part of the problem. It should be week to week, not month to 3 month to month. You need to have some
2
cohesion.
years between seasons.
Right. Like, you got to have consistency and then regularity of your schedule, and then also not take a 2 or 3 month break. Seasons are supposed to happen fairly quickly. I mean, like take 6 months off to film the next season, get in there, get it back, keep us wanting more. And but as productions get bigger, as budgets get larger, as things get more insane, then obviously it's harder to make these things, and then takes longer to make when I don't know. But yeah, you want to do the box office?
Sure.
All right, guys, it's the last segment of the show. You made it this far. We're going to give you the top 10 movies in America for the last weekend, May 31st through June 2nd. As we talked about at the beginning of the show, this isn't a great weekend. It's such a very pathetic weekend. Wow. I mean, yeah, Jake's looking at the numbers right now. It's not a great weekend here.
So, you know how we said that there was nothing new or worth watching? Not a single new movie was in the top 5.
Nope.
So,
Nope. There's not much coming out.
There wasn't one movie that opened and any amount of people were like, well, that's what I need to go watch.
Nope.
So, we're just vindication. Yeah.
So this weekend, we'll see. I mean, next weekend, obviously, we got a couple of more offerings that people might want to see. But we're going to do the top 10 movies in America. We'll throw in some world numbers there for some of the bigger stuff. But, yeah, go ahead and take it away, Jake.
Yeah. So coming in at number 10, dropping from the 7th spot, Sight from Angel Studios. Another $1 million brought in by it, bringing it up to 5.
That's the one with Greg Kinnear.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, I remember I was being like, Greg Kinnear's doing movies again. Yeah, well, he's doing faith-based films now?
Something.
Okay. And then opening at the number 9 spot, Ezra.
Which is playing here.
I didn't see it when I was looking
Yeah,
for
it's playing
movies.
at AMC. I saw it last night when I was looking for movies.
I didn't see it on the Sunday listings.
Yep.
Wow, how about that? That one could have been somewhat interesting.
Yeah, that's the one with the stand-up comedian who's like in a like estranged father.
Yeah, trying to raise his kid and everything. Yeah. $1.1 million brought in by that in its opening week there. And then coming in at number 8, opening at number 8 from IFC Films, In a Violent Nature. $2.1 million brought in by that one. Scary movie or whatever, you know, the summer camp combo one that we should have got, I guess. And then, which summer camp opened at number 11. And then above it, Haikyuu, the dumpster battle. Oh, it really is called trash stuff. I didn't
the
realize.
dumpster battle.
Yeah.
Yep.
$3.5 million brought in by that one, brought to you by Crunchyroll. I don't know what Haikyuu is.
It's like a soccer anime.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. And then holding strong at number 6, The Strangers, Chapter 1, $3.6 million brought in by that one in its third week out, bringing it up to $28.4 million. I don't know if it's enough for that one to say that it made money, because I know it's a horror movie, but I imagine that its advertising budget was a little bigger than most, given that it has a name to it and everything, but who knows. And then staying at number 5, The Fall Guy, in its 5th week out. $4.2 million brought in by that, bringing its domestic total up to 80.25. Across the globe, it made another 77.7, bringing it up to 158 million total. That's a bummer. I'm sure that's not enough for them to be happy with that one at all.
As Vince pointed out, he's like 3, 4, 5, and 6 all stayed in their same positions. Like, you know, I mean, a lot of movies didn't move this week.
Right. Yeah. I mean, no, none of us went to the movies, man. But that sucks for Fall Guy. I hate to think how the studios are going to look at that, being like, we'll see the insurance and practical effects of stunt work and all this stuff just isn't worth it because people don't even have interest in this kind of thing. But it's a fun movie. I'm interested to see what it's like on streaming with the other 30 minutes, but it's worth watching in the theater probably. And then staying at number 4, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, in its 4th week out. We got 555 and 444, 8.8 million brought in by it, 140 in the U.S. in its 4th week. Another 200 million across the globe.
Doing better. A lot of these movies are doing better outside of the U.S., which is kind of weird.
Yeah, about 340 total for Planet of the Apes. And then at number 3, dropping from the top spot, Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, $10.75 million. So in its 2 weeks out, it's brought in under $50 million, which for a big blockbuster movie like that, that's not great.
But it also did better outside of the United States.
65 million brought in across the world. So that puts its total up to 115 million. Yeah, but
yeah,
dude, for that, like that level of being like,
oh yeah.
Yeah. And then at number 2, climbing back up from the number 3 spot, If, 10.8 million brought in here in the States for it to come up to $80 million. Another 57.6 across the globe, bringing it up to 138. I'm sure that's one of those. It's summer. Kids need something to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then same thing here, climbing from the number 2 spot. Garfield movie,
finally made the number 1 movie. Yeah.
51.5 total for that one. Another 100 million. It's been open longer overseas. Garfield has. So 152 globally for that one. Again, I'm sure that's something that's just people need something for their kids to watch, and there's not really anything else. So that's it. There it is.
There it is.
A very boring box office.
Yeah. I mean, it almost feels like we're talking about like the COVID times of box office. We're like, well, some people saw some movies, I guess. And as Dina said on Twitch, she said in the pre-show, which we talked about, Garfield basically sold for each showing at a theater about 24 tickets, which is about a handful of families or maybe 2 rows of seats. Like that and then that's the number one movie in America. I mean, damn.
When I watched it at like 7 o'clock or whatever. I went to one of the earlier showings. There was 6 or 7 of us total in the theater. So, Velvet Santa asked where Blue Angels is in the box office. Is it still up there?
I didn't see it in this week's list. No.
Yeah, I mean it's a Prime thing. It might have only been in theaters long enough for them to be eligible for documentaries awards. So I'm sure since it was probably out 2 or 3 weeks, that's your minimum. So it's out there, and they can say that they had it in theaters. But it's on Amazon. That's where I watched it. I do wish I would have seen it in the theater, but.
Well, all right, guys. Well, that about wraps it up. That's our last segment of the show. We're done. We made it. Don't forget to like and subscribe wherever it is you like to subscribe. We've got Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and Twitch. We prefer Twitch. It's a lot more fun, and we do the pre-show. Also, as Vince just dropped into the chat over here on the side of your screen, the right-hand side of your screen, the Discord link. They are doing, they're showing the Movie Pass Movie Crash documentary tonight on our watch-along over on Discord. You can get that link right there. You can join the Discord and have some fun watching some movies and chatting with us and the rest of our viewers right over there. Don't forget to jump in on that. And if you don't want to watch any of these videos, you just don't like it, you just want to listen, you can subscribe to this podcast wherever it is you subscribe to podcasts, or ask your smart speaker to play the Drive-In Speaker Box podcast. It's easy to do. ArcCast will be coming up. I'll have more details on that as it comes. I think it's next month sometime. Probably be there talking about podcast shit. So if you're in the Northwest Arkansas area, you can come and hang out with us or whatever. But just don't make it weird. And yeah, that's the thing. So all right. Well, Jake, do you have any final thoughts or parting statements or closing affirmations?
Make sure you're always checking Fathom events. Go watch something cool. Lord of the Rings starting on the 8th. What's today? Today's the 3rd. So that's Saturday, maybe. It's
very soon. It's coming up.
So we got Lord of the Rings. They're doing all 3 in a row each week. So check that out. And then there's plenty of other cool stuff. Never-ending Stories on the docket for that.
Never-ending story. I actually realized I hadn't sang a song from a movie yet today, so I had to sneak that one in there.
There it is. So,
all right, guys.
That's all I got.
Well, we will see you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you then.
See you.
As you leave the theater, folks, please be careful. Don't let this happen to your car. Be sure to remove the speaker before you leave. If you should accidentally pull a speaker loose, please turn it in at our snack bar or box office. Thank you.